Some ideas, they shake you out of your sleep like when a toddler creeps. Totality of the deep, the mere thought of an unconscious manifestation carried out with the beat. Positive charged protons creating neural explosions. Time hiccups when fingers and pads touch. Dead air smiles because it knows what's coming. The countenance of the clock claps hands. The choreography of the knock slaps jams. And you be like, who made this? Vertebrae responding to the call so bad to make a B-girl curve the wall.
Oh, back up. What's going on, guys? This is B-Boy Toyz coming at you live. We're going to be continuing further on into forward. So, as you can see, I've already started stretching a little bit. So, for those of you joining us right now, let's start off with a basic stretch. You can start by doing the stretch that I'm doing. So we're going to start off with a split. There we go. All right. So, we're going to do a light stretch and then go straight into it. And I'll just kind of talk about what we're going to do while we're stretching. So we went over, or my apologies for last week. For not making it. There was a bit of a discrepancy there, but basically the previous two lessons we went over two different kinds of leg sweeps. We went over the old school 8-ball sweep pattern, and then we kind of went over a variation of a pretzel sweep, which is like one leg sweeps forward, the other one sweeps back around. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of combine the two different kinds. The leg sweep, that is a variation of coffee grinders and helicopters that some of you may know it by, and then combining it with the variation where you're sliding on the ground, coming around from forward. So we'll be applying both of them into the same movement together for tonight. So, but first things first, we're gonna stretch. So we're gonna do this, but just a few seconds longer, and then we're gonna go stretch our upper bodies while in a split. So I'm gonna step back a little bit. All right, so just stay here, knees straight, toes pointed forward, and of course do it as best as you can. No cheating, just keep your legs straight. If you can't get it this split, go as far as you can. You know, everyone's gonna have different levels of flexibility, so do your thing. Just don't bend your legs. Keep them straight. All right. Yo, what's going on? I don't know who Big Salad is, so I'm 1x Big Salad, hello. So from here, we're gonna continue and deepen this split by opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm gonna start with my left hand, and I'm gonna go over to the right toe. Again, as far as you can. If you can't reach it, just go as far as you can. All right. We're gonna stay here for like half a minute. Okay. All right. And if you're really flexible and want to challenge yourself, try to tuck your whole body and your arm underneath this area You know what I'm saying? And put your elbow all the way on the ground like that. But obviously, I'm not flexible enough to do that. But if you understand what I'm saying, try to do that. That should deepen your stretch even further. Okay. So from here, oof, back to the center, rest a little bit, and then same thing. Right arm now to your left toe. One side will always be a little bit more flexible than the other. So if you can't do the exact same thing on the other side, whichever side it may be, just again, don't force yourself to do anything. Just try your best to keep the form and stretch without hurting yourself. All right, so we're gonna stay on this side for a little bit. All right. Just a little bit longer, a few more seconds. So while we're sitting down, we're going to do a butterfly stretch as well. So feet together, make like a little diamond with your feet, hands on your toes. Keep your back straight and try to go down as low as possible without bending your back or hunching your back. Okay? And same thing, just go as low as you can until you feel a stretch, but don't do it so much that you're actually like in pain. Just enough to feel that stretch in your legs, in your thighs. If you can go all the way down, go all the way down. So once you get a little acclimated to this position, always try to deepen the stretch even further. You know what I mean? Always push yourself. All right. So legs together now, straight leg. Just keep your knees as straight as possible and your toes pointing straight up. Reach for your toes, back as straight as possible. All right. So from here, we're going to do last stretch we'll do is stretching out our hips. So right leg over your left arm over your right leg. Same thing, keep your back straight and try to look the other way. All right. Switch sides. Left leg over your right. Left leg over your right. Right arm over your left leg. Yes. Ooh, geez. And my legs are cramping because I'm getting old. All right. All right. Do a little counter stretch. All right. So, gonna tilt this camera up a little bit. All right. So, we're just gonna briefly go over the steps from the past few weeks, and then again, we're gonna combine the two into completely different motions, and then start playing on variations off that movement. So just focusing mainly on leg sweep today. Really basic fundamentals. If you already have this, practice doing it to your other side or going the other direction with it. If you feel that it's too easy, I can guarantee you it's not. It's just it's a matter of applying it to everything else, and then that's where a lot of the other challenges come from. So do try to do this on your other side, and if you can do it on both sides, try to do it in the reverse direction on both sides, and you'll start to see it opens up a lot of possibilities, more possibilities for your footwork flow. So real quick, I'm gonna take a sip of water. All right, so what do we want to go over first? So we'll go over the 8-ball sweep. All right. I'm going to be going both directions on both sides for the coffee grinder or helicopter or just a standard leg sweep, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people in Maryland, DC call it coffee grinder, so, or just the DMV area in general. Everywhere else, they almost exclusively call it helicopters or leg sweeps. Coffee grinder is a bit of a kind of like a middle of the East Coast terminology. So, anyways, so from here, what we're gonna do is from squat, we're gonna start the 8-ball sweep, starting with our right leg. So from here, okay, we're gonna go hook. Okay, reverse, turn around, step down, switch, rotate around, leg sweep with your left leg now, a full one, hop over, hook. And then from there, now we go reverse, rotate around, squat, switch, rotate around, leg sweep with your right, hook. Okay. So from then here, the whole thing again, going back and forth. Okay. So that was the 8-ball sweep. So one more time, going fast. So I'll do first. The first thing I'll do is just a full leg sweep, just to give you the idea. Okay. So the 8-ball sweep. The other leg sweep variation we went over was starting from a 6-step from a push-up position here. Okay, so from here, or actually do it from the angle because you guys can see everything better that way. Starting with my left leg, going on my left arm side, slide, and this leg sweeps underneath until you sit on your butt to a split. Really simple leg sweep. So as you're doing footwork, You just slide in there. It just takes a split second. You just slide in there and you're going to do a leg freeze. Or floor freeze, whatever you want to call it. So, one more time. If you're doing footwork counterclockwise, you're going to start with your left leg sliding in, right leg sweeping under. So this is me going counterclockwise. Might look different because of the camera angle, but from here, 6 step. My left leg slides forward, right leg sweeps underneath. Floor freeze, all right? And then going the opposite way, exact same thing, just you're gonna be starting with your right leg, sweeping under it with your left. Okay, so from here, all right, going reverse, now I'm going clockwise. Slide in and sweep underneath to the floor freeze. Okay, so one more time. So going clockwise now. Down to a floor freeze. Okay. So I guess I don't remember if I talked about this or not, but if you can do a 6-step very well or very comfortably one way, it's completely asymmetrical. You should practice doing a 6-step the opposite direction as well. Seems very simple. I mean, it is very simple, but it's very useful skill to obtain. You don't want to be a one-trick pony doing everything in one direction. So if you're not used to doing 6-step both directions, I would suggest start working on that. We can go over that later on in the future, but not right now. But that's the whole, we don't need to go over that right now at this very moment. We're going to be going over these leg sweeps. So anyways, one more time. So everything I'm going to do, oh, well, look at that, Nicholas style. All right. So we're going to do, I just lost my track up. We're going to do the 8-ball sweep, the forward leg sweep, and then show you how we can combine the two. All right, so one more time, the 8-ball sweep. So from here, all right, to this guy, to the other side. Okay. So one way we can combine the two is going to be basically starting from a coffee grinder, and instead of continuing the 8-ball pattern, it's going to turn into a reverse leg sweep, okay? Similar to how we did the sliding one. So, and then we can end it simply with a floor freeze, and then we'll kind of play around with it and show you how you can continue adding on to it. So from here, what you're going to do is, it's a little bit, I'm trying to figure out which is the best angle to show you guys. So from here, what you're going to do is from here, once you start the first step from the 6th step, so if you're in a push-up position, first step, okay? And what you want to do, you can keep your leg in the, you can keep your knee off the ground, or you can put it down if it makes it easier for you. But you're going to immediately go into a forward leg sweep with your right leg. So from here, you do step 1, and then from here, all the way across till you get to the other side. Okay? So for example, from here, step 1, all the way across Okay? Until you come back to a push-up position. Okay? So this is going to be done at a very high speed. Like you don't want to, it can be done slowly, but it's actually a lot more difficult to do it slowly, a lot more physically exhausting doing it slow. You want to really swing that leg, use your momentum to bounce and bounce your body from one arm to the other without having to like walk from one side, transitioning your weight. You just want that leg to swing and just switch to the other hand. So from here, like that. And then this leg should be free to swing around freely underneath. Okay? So if you're doing it with your knee on the ground, step in for step one. You can rest your knee on the ground, swing your leg around, and then bring it around behind you. Okay? But I highly recommend, just in terms of form and just a better technique overall to connect it to other things, you really want to try to keep your knee off the ground as best as possible. It's not the end of the world if you can't, but you know, you'll be able to execute this move a lot faster and cleaner if you manage to keep your knee off the ground. Swing that leg and use that momentum to really help you bounce and push off your arm and move your body to the other arm. Okay? So one more time. So from here, step one, just kick that leg as hard as you can. Okay, my leg has not touched the ground yet. And then it's going to come around. Keep it in the air, right here. And then from here, now you're going to swing it behind and sweep it underneath. You put your knee on the ground, sweep it underneath, and just like that leg sweep we did earlier, go down to 4 3. Okay? So you're going to go forward, come back around, and reverse leg sweep. Kind of sort of makes the number 8 pattern as well in a different way. So from here, if you're doing a 6-step, right? From here, step 1, boom, to a floor grip. Okay? You can go the other way, but we're just gonna focus mainly on this one side, just to show you how you can build off of it even further. Okay, so one last time. So we'll eventually work our way to the other side, but for now we're gonna focus a lot on this one side that I started showing you on, just to build off of it as much as possible. All right, so where was I? All right. So from here, 1, swing around, 2. Okay. One more time. So from here, boom. Beautiful. Okay. Alright. So as you execute this move faster and faster, you're going to be able to connect it to other leg sweeps much more. So one more time. Okay. One more time. So you really need to swing your leg as fast as possible, gain that momentum, switch from one foot to the other, or one hand to the other, without losing speed or flow after the first leg sweep. Bring it around and switch it right away to a reverse leg sweep. Okay? Or, yeah. So, from here, we then go back to push-up position and you swing this leg back now. Okay. So, a fun way to play with this is you can reverse the direction of your six step by using this leg sweep pattern, and instead of sitting down to a floor freeze, if you keep your hips up and after this reverse leg sweep, stay on your legs and step forward with your right leg. So from there, you can reverse it. So I'm doing 6-step counterclockwise. Step 1, leg sweep 1, swing around, leg sweep 2, step forward. And now I'm doing 6-step clockwise. Okay. So, good way to change the direction of your 6-step without sacrificing speed or flow in a very simple footwork foundation. So go from counterclockwise to clockwise pattern using a really cool flowy sweep transition, and you could even use it to change if you're like me where you do footwork counterclockwise but your power moves clockwise. You can use these patterns to help you transition from footwork to power seamlessly without losing momentum at all. So definitely useful. And I'll show you some of these examples right now. So one more time, I'll show you reversing direction of your 6-step, and then I'll show you how it can be used to go into freezes, switch up freeze directions, and then ultimately power moves as well, without really losing any speed or flow. So one more time with the 6-step. Back to counterclockwise. Okay. So I do footwork counterclockwise, but my power moves clockwise. So another example, I'll show doing it going into backspins. Okay, backspin to beat freeze. So from here. Okay. From here. It's gonna take, well, I gotta take my glasses off. So from here. Like that. So I don't feel like going to beat freeze. For freezes, let's see. Freezes, again, footwork counterclockwise, but I stab my freezes on my right arm. So really easy transition to use to help you on the fly, change directions, and go into a freeze without having to just stop and then just plant yourself in a freeze. So from here, okay, one more time. Okay. So, just a lot of different ways you can use this move. Very simple. Could use it to go into other transitions and other leg sweeps as well. So, for example, boom. Continue. So, a lot of different ways you can play around with this. Can just keep going on and on with leg sweeps. And never end with your flow, really. You can just keep going on and on and on. Once you get really good at it, you can incorporate threads, which we'll go over as well. Freezes, power moves in between, all that good stuff. So definitely worth investing a lot of time into learning your basic leg sweeps and leg sweep patterns. You know, just doing one direction on one side will never cut it. There's always more to explore. So definitely work on forward and backwards on both sides. So forward and backwards on your right leg, forwards and backwards on your left leg. Okay, so one more time real quick. We'll go over some of the steps and then start to do it on the other side as well. So one more time. So from here, 6th step. Leg sweep, reverse sweep, and then just step forward. Okay, so going this way. Still the same direction. All right. So one more time. Alright. Other way. So now, if you're doing footwork clockwise, start with your left leg now. So this is going the other way, clockwise. Boom. Step one this way would be your right leg. Right leg. Leg sweep with your left leg. Come around. Step one. Okay. One more time. Go this way. So from here, left leg swinging forward first. Okay. Right leg sweep. Step forward with your left. And that's how we'll end it. Okay? So, that's my breath. So, you're ending with your legs extended out, and you can connect this easily to kickouts, CCs, whatever you want it to be. So, you're going clockwise. You see what I'm saying? Very simple. And take a water break. All right, so time 7:36. All right, so what we're gonna do is now do the exact same thing, but you can do leg sweeps with both of your feet together. So here's what we're gonna do. Same exact pattern. So going counterclockwise, I'm gonna swing with my right leg first for 6 steps. Right. Same thing. Left leg does step 1. Right leg starts the coffee grinder. Right leg continues the leg sweep. Well, actually, sorry. Let me start over. 6 step. Step 1. Coffee grinder. And then from here, use both legs to do a leg sweep. Okay. Same exact thing, but now you're using both your legs behind you to continue on with the leg sweep. So from here, you're going to just slide them underneath. Okay. And then after you slide them, plant one foot after another to come to a squat. And then from here, continue the direction of footwork, whichever direction that you're going. Or you can reverse it from here. So whichever way it works for you. So one more time. From here, hook, step 1. Left leg, right leg, step 2, coffee grinder. Come around. Like that. Okay. So if you're going, if you're doing this pattern starting from a counterclockwise 6 step, what you're going to end up doing is, as you leg sweep from right to left, you're going to let your left leg up, right leg comes forward, left leg comes down, right leg comes down. So it's basically going to be from here, if you were sweeping along, that's the motion you're going to do. Okay? So very slowly, one more time. 6 step. Left leg, right leg sweeps. Both legs, leg sweep. Right leg comes out, right leg comes down. Okay? So done at a very fast pace, it should look fairly smooth, and it'll have a very different look just because both legs are sweeping around the back. And again, the options here are numerous to connect it to other moves. So for example, from here, all right, 6 step, boom, leg sweep. From here, If you want, you can maintain the legs being together and start doing a knee shuffle. Okay, knee shuffles are down, down, up. You see what I'm saying? So you can start connecting it to other moves that hold a similar shape or form with your legs or upper body. It's up to you. So as you do a leg sweep with both of your legs together, think about moves that also require you to do legs, for you to do the move with your legs together. So this leg sweep could easily lead into tombstones, just a simple straight-legged freeze, pop all the way up to headspin drills, or pike headspins, 90, like drilling your 90s. As I just showed you, knee shuffles, you know what I mean? You could even do it to a chair, you know what I mean? So as you do a leg sweep, you can do it to a bridge, lead into a backspin. Since backspin is ultimately you'll have your feet together with your legs bent at a perpendicular angle. So just start playing around with moves just to see what direction it goes. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone moves differently. Sometimes when I'm trying to do a leg sweep to a freeze, it might not look right or feel right to me, but then someone else will do the exact same thing, but they might be able to make it look really good just because, I don't know, just the way they fling their leg or the way they move their arms during the whole thing. Everyone has a different body type and movement, so just play around with it. If someone tells you it doesn't look good, don't just trash the idea completely. Just like keep it in your back pocket, you know what I mean? Like it may turn out to be useful or be really dope, and you just might be getting discouraged by your peers. So don't ever just completely disregard ideas or combinations. Just always work on it. If it doesn't work out, still keep it. Just keep building off of it. Maybe change something in between at the beginning, middle, or end. There's always different ways to play around with it. Okay. So one more time, we'll go over the few different patterns to go into footwork, reversing 6-step, freeze, power moves, whatever. So a few minutes of silence. I'm just going to show you all the different patterns we went over just now, and then we'll finish off with another stretch real quick. And then if anyone's got any questions, feel free to hit me up during the stretch process. All right, so starting one more time with the basic one first. Okay. I'll do it this way. So I'm going counterclockwise. Remember, exact opposite things if you're going clockwise. So counterclockwise. Boom. Okay. One more time to reverse my direction in a 6-step. So counterclockwise to clockwise. From here. I'm going this way. Okay. So one more time, but going into a freeze, which I stab with my right arm again. Okay, so from here, step down, and I'm stepping on my right arm. I'm just doing a baby. And then same thing, so this time to a backspin, and I'll try to do a baby freeze. There's not much space here, so we'll see what happens. So from here, okay. There's that, and then the double leg sweep. So same thing, but this time you swing both legs together. So from here, as you're ready to swing back, both knees go on the ground. Like so. Okay, one more time. Yeah, one time. So from here. I'll do it one time facing this way, same direction. So that's with both of your legs together, doing the leg sweep. All right. So all this I've been doing on one side, on one direction, just because it's a lot to cover. But again, completely asymmetrical. So whatever I'm saying, just kind of reverse it, and it should turn out exactly the same. No question about it. So one more time, one way, going counterclockwise, and then I'll show you facing forward, going clockwise. So and now, since I'm already going clockwise, I'll continue the motion. These are very simple, basic patterns and steps, but I will say not every b-boy out there knows how to do these or is able to do them comfortably. And so, yeah, the sooner you get used to a very basic fundamental pattern and move, you'll be that much further ahead of the curve with everyone else. Without a doubt, there's plenty of famous b-boys and b-girls I know that can't do some of these things, as shocking as it may sound. So it's not necessarily a diss to them. We all just learn differently and we have different foundations and fundamentals, but again, the sooner you get hip to this and the sooner you get comfortable doing these things, the more you'll increase your potential to become better than some of your idols. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a terrible thing to say. Don't ever compare yourself to anyone. All right. Well, before I get into a rant or some weird philosophical things, just just know that the more you develop your fundamentals and your foundation, the stronger your technique and overall skills will be as you progress in this dance. Okay, so may not seem like it, even if you have perfect 6 steps, try going 6 steps the other way. You know, it'll blow your mind how many more ideas you'll get just from the mere fact that you're doing all these different things. You know what I'm saying? So we'll end this session real quick with a stretch, and then yeah, we'll just end it with a stretch real quick. So we'll just go over the same exact things again. So we'll start off with the split again. Okay, put on my big boy glasses on. All right. So from here, same thing. Start off with a split. Okay. And again, if you've been trying this with me, you'll see why these stretches are crucial, especially when we're doing all these leg sweeps. It really makes a big difference. So even if you're not flexible now, just keep stretching. You'll get more and more flexible every day. I used to not be this flexible, and then over the course of about a year or so, it helps that I started when I was young too. But regardless, I went from not being able to do splits to one day being able to do splits. And now we've reversed that course as I've gotten older, and I'm no longer able to do splits. But we're still fairly flexible though. This is not a perfect split, but I can get them pretty wide apart, and leg sweeps are relatively still easy for me to do because I've been able to maintain my flexibility. So yeah. So once again, from here, opposite arm, opposite leg. So left arm to your right. Right arm to your left. So keeping your back straight, try to have good posture, and without arching your back or without hunching your back, try to go as low as you can, stretching forward. Again, if you can't, just go as far as you can. If you can't go at all, that's fine. Just stay where you are as long as your legs are straight. Okay. All right, so a little bit longer here. And then from here, you're gonna go back to butterfly stretch. Fix my pants. Remove some nasty stuff from the bottom of my shoe. All right, so same thing, back straight, leaning forward. All right, and we're just gonna do a couple different stretches just to work out some different parts of your body real quick. All right. So you can do this sitting down, or you can do it standing up. I'm gonna try doing it standing up. I'll face to the side so you all can see what's going on. So straight legs. Feet together, knees straight. Don't bend your legs. Keep them straight, back straight. Don't try not to hunch. It doesn't really matter, but you can really see the level of your flexibility by keeping your back straight. So back straight, and try to touch your toes. If you can't, that's fine. You can rest your hands on your shins or your thighs if you have to. But go as far as you can without sacrificing the form on your legs. Okay. So from here, come back down. All right. One last time, hip stretches. Right leg up, left arm over. switch sides real quick. Right arm over your left leg. And actually, we haven't really done this. We're always doing like forward bending stretches. We're going to do a cat stretch real quick for your lower back. So from a push-up position, just try to move your chin up and look up at the ceiling if you can. And then from there, down to your knees, and just do a quick counter stretch and just move your arms forward and your head down. All right. Cool. So that's it. So real quick, we got like 4 minutes left. I'm just going to go over the patterns real quick just for you to see visually, and then that'll be the end of class, and then I'll be able to go eat my rice and chorizo sausage. All right, so real quick. All right, that's all. Peace, guys. Howdy.